welcome back to Drunk Bible Study Bonus Edition. Yeah, more Isaiah on mushrooms or whatever, like hallucinogen of choice that he is into. I don't know. It was referencing other parts of the Bible that we've discussed, and then also referencing maybe things yet to come in maybe a New Testament. Lots of things happened this time around.
I hear they might make a new one someday, sort of a reboot.
Yeah. Reboot Testament.
The
exactly.
Testament reboot, yeah.
Exactly. Maybe something like that will happen. Well, anyways, I was the one who read Isaiah 10 and right? Oh no, I read Isaiah 9.
Yeah, you
but
did
anyways,
9. I did 10.
I did 9. Okay, fine. Well, I'm talking about something from your section.
Okay.
Isaiah 10, verse 9, which talks about, is not Kaleno as Carchemish? Isn't Hamath as Arpad? Isn't Samaria as Damascus? And we were all like, what in the world is this?
Uh-huh.
So they're like confidently boasting, but none of these cities and nations against which B had directed his arms had been able to resist him.
Wait, what did you just say?
It says the meaning
English?
of this confidence. Yes.
Okay, I get you're reading something, but I need you to decode it for us. Like, I
So
need
it
you
says-
to interpret it for us.
Yeah, okay, the meaning of this confident boasting is that none of the cities and nations against which B had directed
What
his
is
arms.
B? What are you
don't know.
talking
Why does it-
about, Emily?
Maybe they mean he. It says B, but maybe he.
Like C-E or like the letter B?
It says B had directed his arms,
but
had
no,
been
but
able to
B,
resist him.
E, or the letter B. What's the spelling?
B-E. B-E.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think what they mean, it says all had fallen before him and all alike were prostrate at his feet. So basically just like God, everything fell at God because of God.
These typos are
God
not
was
filling me
like-
with a lot of confidence here.
God fell, and that was it. Carchemish, so this first one, had been unable to resist him, and Kaleno had shared the same fate. Okay, so Carchemish was a city on the Euphrates belonging to Assyria. It was taken by Necho, N-E-C-H-O,
Yes.
king of Egypt, and retaken by Nebuchadnezzar in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, in 2 Kings 23:29. So we have heard of this. Probably it's the same city as Kerkamusa or Kirkisha, which is situated in the angle formulated by the junction of the Chebar and the Euphrates. So it's just a place, and it was taken. And then Hamath is a celebrated city of Syria. It's referred to in Genesis, way back in the day, 10:18, as the seat of one of the tribes of Canaan. It's often mentioned as the northern limit of Canaan. So it was in Numbers, Joshua, and Judges. The Assyrians became masters of the city about 753 years before Christ. In Kings 2, or The Return of the King, 1724. Okay, so this is another town. Arpad, the city was not far from Hamath, and it's called by the Greeks Iphania in 2 Kings again. Samaria is the capital of Israel, or Ephraim. From the mention of this place, it is evident that the prophecy was written after Samaria had been destroyed. Interesting. Okay. And then Damascus is the capital of Syria. So Samaria is the capital of Israel, and Damascus is the capital of Syria. So this happens in Isaiah as well.
And those were the kingdoms who were either threatening or who had already taken over parts of where the Hebrews lived. Because like you said, Emily, at this point, Israel had been conquered just recently. Like during the previous king's reign, probably during Isaiah's life, Israel had been captured, which you said was, what was the name of that capital city again?
Damascus. Oh, no,
No,
wait. Sorry.
that was
Samaria.
Samaria.
Yeah,
right.
Samaria was the capital of Israel. Yeah,
Right.
and then
Isaiah's
Damascus.
in Judah, which hasn't been captured yet, but we know will be several kings
Yes.
from now.
Exactly.
Got it.
So we're going to
Okay.
get to that.
So
yeah.
so it's kind of about all the kings of these different kingdoms around where he is.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
exactly. So basically all of these places are going to be captured and everyone's going to be screwed. It's going to be too bad.
Yeah.
Even though they're boasting at this point, but it's going to fall and it's
Okay.
going to be a rough time. And that's it.
Wow. I looked up this whole palm branch and rush
Oh yeah.
thing.
What was
Rush,
that?
like the
Did I
band,
read
right?
that or did you read that?
Who knows who read it? It's not
Okay.
important.
Not important.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the verse again is, therefore Yahweh will cut off from Israel head and tail, palm branch and reed is, I guess, the World English Bible. This is the thing. When I Googled this verse, it brought up this website called godtube.com.
GodTube.
Wait, what?
And I
What is
got kind of
GodTube?
distracted.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
I got kind of distracted. So clearly they're trying to be an alternative to YouTube of just all Christian videos. And by Christian
That's
videos,
so
it's
amazing.
just a lot of videos of people singing, a lot of people doing duets and stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Not necessarily Christian, just like clean. It's like clean YouTube. Clean,
Clean tube.
inspirational YouTube. And their
Okay.
top artists on their site, number one is Reba McEntire. So maybe that can tell you
Huh.
the
Okay.
demographics of the people who visit the
Nice.
site.
Right.
Anyway, for some reason, they also have a list of like translations of this particular verse. So that's what led me to there. But GodTube is not actually that important. What is important is this whole palm branch and rush thing. And so the palm branch referred to, of course, the palm, which does not put out branches until it's very tall. And it is the signifier or metaphor for like the nobly born, people high in society. And the
Okay.
rushes grow in the swamps and the marshes. And
Okay.
they represent,
I see.
the deplorables of society,
course.
as it
Yeah.
were, all the
Clearly.
lowborn. And the idea being he
Doesn't
both of
matter.
them, head and
Yeah.
tail, doesn't matter, doesn't
Got
give
it.
any poops. Gotta get rid of him.
Not a single one. Wow.
Not a single one. That was the best that I could find. But now we know that GodTube is a thing. So,
Maybe we'll be able to find some other things on there
Yeah,
for future bonus
probably.
episodes.
oh yeah.
Good.
Could be fun.
Good.
So I, to no one's surprise, ended up looking into the Messiah.
Whoa, look at there it
which-
is.
It's funny, as I said, it's my favorite piece of music of all time, and has consistently been so for the last, 15-ish years of my life.
Wow.
And what's funny is, so Dedeker and I are at my brother's house for this month, and down in where Dedeker's office is now, they have a record collection. And in that record collection are old records of mine that I,
Oh.
gave up or like left back at my mom's house, and I think Josh took them because I didn't have a record player anymore. And one of them is this recording of
Oh,
Handel's
so the
Messiah.
So that Messiah record is yours. As it
yeah,
turns
this is
out.
actually my record
Wow.
that I got
How lovely.
at like a thrift store or something when I was in college.
Funny.
So this
Wow.
one, this is not the one we're going to listen to today because this is on vinyl, and I don't have a really good way to get that into the computer. But this was a version here recorded. It was conducted by Leonard Bernstein, conducting the New York Philharmonic.
Lenny.
Wow.
Yeah, and he made some bold choices at times.
Oh?
It's actually
Like
not
what?
my favorite version of the Messiah, but it's not
Huh.
bad. I do like it. Oh, just things like so the overture of Handel's Messiah, for example, is normally performed kind of like this. It's got this kind of nice, slow, very measured, right?
Sure.
And it's just kind of setting up the sound of it. And when Bernstein did it, he did it like
Quick.
not quite half that speed. No, like even slower.
Oh,
Because
wow.
some
Wow.
versions will do this much faster, and I think that especially in kind of modern day, this overture gets sped up because it's like, yeah, there's no singing here. Let's get to the singing. But
Interesting.
his was like really takes its time on this
Wow.
on this overture at the beginning. Anyway,
Maybe Lenny just freaking loved it.
just loved it, yeah.
Yeah.
So this recording that we're going to be listening to a little bit of today is from 1955. This is the London Philharmonic Orchestra, conducted by Sir Adrian Boult. And supposedly performed on the original instrumentation. And that was the first Handel's Messiah quiz. For you two.
Oh,
Whoa.
boy. Surprise quiz.
How big do you think the orchestra was that this was originally written for?
Probably much smaller than,
It's got to be like
yeah.
10 people.
Yeah, actually
Just
that's pretty much spot on.
Oh,
So
wow.
What do you mean
10
pretty much
is-
spot on? How can it be pretty much spot on? Either you're spot on or you're not.
Well, no, actually, because in Baroque music, things aren't quite so strictly regimented. But this is originally scored for 2 trumpets, a timpani, 2 oboes, 2 violins, a viola, and a basso continuo. Now, the thing about a basso continuo is that
Yeah,
could
what is
be...
that?
It's kind of this generic term in Baroque music for the instruments that do the bass line, essentially.
Okay.
And
Okay.
this could be several. It might just be one instrument. So that can kind of vary how many people are involved in that. But with 2 trumpets, 2 oboes, 2 violins, that's 6, plus timpani is 7, plus viola is 8. Basso continuo, say it's 2 people, there's your 10 right there. So good job.
There you go.
So this is something that really, I remember in conservatory learning about this. Actually, I think high school is when I learned this, but that this piece was written for such a small group, which is so different from the way I think most of us encounter Handel's Messiah, which is like the entire London Philharmonic or New York Philharmonic, right? Like this massive orchestra doing this with singers who are on microphones because they have to be able to sing over an orchestra. Whereas originally it was actually quite a small little chamber orchestra.
See.
And, and the singers would have been there.
Yeah.
So another thing I learned actually just today is that the music part of Handel's Messiah, so the libretto, like the lyrics were written by someone else, and then Handel wrote the music, apparently in 24 days. He just
Really?
pounded this thing out. And
Is that fast?
that's very fast.
Okay.
Yes. To write, almost 3 hours of music?
That sounds ridiculously fast.
Yeah, in 24
Wow.
days. It's
Wow.
wild. And something that music historians have noted, though, is it's incredibly impressive of his handwritten score of this whole thing, actually how few mistakes there are
Wow.
for being handwritten and being written that quickly compared to other scores and stuff. So anyway, just,
That's awesome.
fun trivia. I love that.
Heck
So
yes.
the first piece from this that I wanted to play was this one called But Who May Abide the Day of His Coming is the title of this track, of this hot track from the Messiah.
Such a hot track. Okay.
And essentially the way that the Messiah is structured is there's lots of different sections, and in each section there will be multiple little parts within it, I guess. And they're each kind of on a theme. So it'll usually be like a soloist sings a little recitative. So
Okay.
kind of not super melodic, more just kind of getting out some exposition. And then it'll usually
Okay.
go into an aria, so more of a full-on song. And then it will go into a chorus number with the whole choir.
Okay.
So that's kind of the general structure as we go through lots of cycles of that. And this one here is toward the beginning, and this one is sometimes done as an alto, sometimes done as a bass. And so in this, we're going to listen to the bass version. And this is the one that I was thinking of when he was talking about Yahweh, like burning everyone up and destroying stuff like
And
that.
turning fire into
Goodness.
fire,
And
fire
turning
into
fire
fire.
into fire.
Jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we're going to sing a beautiful song about it.
Yeah. So it's slow, and then it's going to, the beat's going to drop here. Oh, yeah.
My God, Jase, you're such a conservatory student.
like a refiner's fire, right?
Wow.
And we just keep singing this one word.
Really have to ride that vibrato.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not done with the thought yet. Wait
Still
for it.
fire, more fire. Appearas.
Oh,
Appearas.
Love it.
Yeah. So I did learn in looking this up that apparently this line is actually from a different book of the Bible. It's from Malachi, but very similar. So clearly there's some imagery that's
Some repetition.
shared between the profs. you
Yahweh
know?
loves fire eating fire. Is the
He does.
conclusion
He
I've come
does
to.
love that. Yeah.
That was well. Okay, what is the really popular part of Handel's Messiah?
It's hallelujah.
That's the most popular
Hallelujah,
part,
hallelujah,
yes.
hallelujah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
But we haven't gotten to that part in the Bible, actually.
Oh, when does that happen?
The Gospels, right? Not until the birth of Christ?
So,
Really?
interesting story. The Hallelujah chorus gets its words from the book of Revelation.
Whoa.
So-
What? Okay.
So we're very
That's
much
really-
not there yet. Yes.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
But he pulled from all over the Bible, though.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Pulled from all over the Bible with some particular hits that he kind of went to more often than others. And I should, let me look this up just so that I can speak about it accurately. So Charles Jennens was the one who wrote the words. So he's the one who wrote the libretto.
Okay.
Also, around this time of kind of earlier opera, this is not an opera, this is an oratorio, which is basically like an opera that's not staged.
Okay.
But at that time, the like headliner was the librettist, and the composer was kind of like the secondary person after that, which is the opposite of how it is today, right? Where we're like
Definitely.
a musical by Leonard Bernstein with book by whoever else, and we don't care.
Yeah, I
right?
don't care.
It used to be the opposite. During this time, like
Huh.
the lyrics were the big deal, and the music was kind of the accompaniment to that.
When was this written? I don't know when Handel was around. I should, but I don't.
So Handel was during the Baroque period, which is basically like the
Oh, wow, a
1700s.
while. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a
So
while
this,
ago.
Was he contemporary with Bach, or was Bach 1600s?
yeah, he was kind of a contemporary of Bach. Bach lived from 1685 to 1750,
Okay.
and Handel, by contrast, wrote this piece in 1741.
Okay.
And I believe it was kind of one of his earlier-ish things. No, actually, no. Sorry, no, this is later in life. He lived from from 1685 to 1759. So actually very much in the same time frame.
Okay.
But yeah,
Cool.
this would have been written like right toward the end of Bach's life. And I guess not that far from the end of Handel's life, too.
Wow. Well, pretty good thing to go out on.
I suppose, yeah. So the thing is that in this, there's one particular section of this that's all based on Isaiah 9, which we just read
Oh,
today. So that's
yeah.
that's the one I wanted us to check out here.
please.
So let me find this. This is in part 1, scene 3, number 10. So this is the people that walketh in darkness. So this
Okay.
is kind of about the like dark times that we've been talking about. This guy's very hard to understand. The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light is the line that basically gets said over and over again in
Wow.
this. And let's skip ahead a bit.
Okay, so they that dwell in the land of the shadow.
The shadow of death.
Shadow of death. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
It took a while
This
to
guy
say all
is
those
just
words.
a rough way of conveying the Bible.
Okay, so this is what I was saying, where before this we had a little recitative, and then this was the aria, and then it kicks off into this chorus number, which you should recognize the first words of this right away, because we've talked about it a lot the last couple episodes. So exciting after that bummer of a song before it.
Unto us.
For
Yeah.
unto us a child is born. Is the,
Yes.
Unto us a son is
And-
given.
All the ladies are singing.
Are these ladies or these tiny boys?
Those are
Can't
ladies.
tell. Okay.
So this is actually one of the hits of Handel's Messiah too, besides the Hallelujah chorus, which is the hit that everyone knows. But this is kind of one of the big numbers that gets,
Thrown around a lot.
it's like on the album cover, it would be, featuring singles such as For Unto Us a Child is Born,
I love it.
And the government shall be upon his shoulder.
Yes, oh my God, so ridiculous.
Shall be called Wonderful
Right.
Counselor, the mighty God.
The listeners at home are not going to get this, but like the look of pure exuberant joy on Jase's face as this piece of music
it is great.
it truly is your favorite piece of music. You're not.
It's
You're not
beautiful.
bullshitting.
Yeah, like the Baroque era is, I think, my favorite era of music.
Huh.
And then this is one of my favorites. There's a lot of good music during the Baroque period. But yeah, I don't know what it is about it. It's just, I don't know. It's just fun. It's just good. It's good stuff.
It's great.
This song also reminds me of, in a music theory class, in my group, we had to get into groups and essentially do an interpretive dance of a song where each of us is doing a dance with like kind of specific choreography following each of the lines. So like one of us was following the sopranos, one was the altos, one was the tenors, and one was the
Wow.
basses, doing this
Oh my God.
this I had a very woo-woo teacher in one semester of music theory, where we each were doing a dance of our like different line that had specific kind of moves that involved what was happening harmonically and
Did
kind
this
of
help the music theory?
melodically. I think it was kind of about hearing the way that the different lines all work together and then being
Kind
able
of
to
putting it
visualize it.
visually and physically. That makes sense.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
cool.
into that.
And each group had a different piece, I think. It might have all been from the Messiah or maybe something else, but we each had a different thing. And so me and some of my composition buddies all did a little
Nice.
interpretive dance to this song.
Love it.
That's amazing. Wow.
So there's a bunch more of this that happens that quotes from Isaiah, but we have not gotten to that yet. So
Okay.
perhaps in the future we can have a little more Messiah.
For drunk Messiah study.
Drunk Messiah?
Yeah.
You know what? I would make that. I
You
would make that
would.
podcast for
yeah,
sure.
we know.
All on your
You
own. You would
Definitely
do it.
would.
Well, you know what's great about it is there's 54 pieces in Handel's Messiah, like 54
Wow.
individual pieces of music. So you could really do like a year-long podcast where
Yeah.
each week you take one of them and like
You
analyze
would
it and talk
be
about.
the only person to listen to that podcast.
No, a lot of people would, I'm sure.
All right, everyone,
I'd listen.
Go to Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship. Let us know if you would listen to Drunk Messiah Study. It's only 1 year. It'd be like a limited run, 1 year long
Yeah.
show. Let us know if you would listen to that. Maybe it could get supplemented with Drunk Recorder Study, which we talked about a few weeks ago.
That would be less exciting to listen to. I think.
I mean, the
Yeah.
recorder was big during this period of music too, so
Oh, that's
kinda makes
true.
sense.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you everybody so much for joining us for this bonus episode, and we will see you around the Facebook group, and we will see you next week.